For the pledging of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, honorable city council members, mayor, our deputy clerk, chief of staff, city attorney, to the administrators that are with us this evening, as well as audience, and also to those viewing tonight's broadcast via YouTube Live. Welcome to the City of Romulus City Council regular meeting, and today's date is Monday, June 12th, 2023. Members of the public wishing to participate in this meeting may do so under the public comment portion of the agenda. Please fill out a request to speak public comment card located on the back of the table, located in the back of the chambers on the table, and hand it to the deputy clerk. At this time, we will have roll call. We have Councilwoman Abdo.
Excused.
So noted. Councilman Barton.
Here.
Councilwoman Roscoe. Excused.
Yes, I think she's running a little late. Yeah.
Councilwoman Talley. Here. Councilman Wadsworth.
Here.
Councilwoman Webb.
Excused.
And Councilwoman Williams.
Here.
Mr. Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you.
Tonight's regular council meeting agenda is as follows. Number 1, agenda. Number 2, minutes. Number 3, petitioner. 4, chairperson's report. 5, mayor's report. 6, clerk's report. 7, treasurer's report. 8, public comment. 9, unfinished business. 10, new business. 11, warrant. 12, communication, and number 13, adjournment. And a motion would be in order to accept the regular council meeting agenda as presented.
So moved to accept the regular council meeting agenda as presented.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Mr. Wadsworth for approval of the agenda as presented. Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Williams,
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Number 2, minutes. Agenda item 2A. For approval are the minutes from the regular meeting held on Monday, June 5th, 2023 at 7:30 p.m.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Wadsworth,
I will move for the approval of the minutes of the regular council meeting that was held on Monday, June the 5th at 7:30.
Support.
motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Talley for approval of the minutes from our regular meeting held on Monday, June the 5th, 2023, 7:30. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Agenda item 2B. Approval of the minutes from the special meetings held, executive session held on Monday, June 5th, 2023 at 5:45 p.m. to discuss union matters, and the special meeting study session held on Monday, June 5th, 2023 at 6:15 a.m. was to discuss the quarterly investment report, and at 6:45 p.m. special meeting to discuss the applicants for the honorary street sign dedication program.
Need a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Okay, Mr. Wadsworth.
I will move that we approve the minutes of the special meetings that were held on June 5th. The first one at 5:45, the second one was at 6:15, and the third one was at 6:45.
Support.
Motion by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Talley. That's for the approval of the minutes that was read. Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair abstain, motion approved.
It's going to have to vote.
It requires 4 votes, so if you're abstaining, then it's
Well, I wasn't here,
It
but,
doesn't matter.
so how do I correct that?
You can still
I can
vote,
still-
only
you
if
still
there's
can vote
a
yes, John.
financial conflict, then you wouldn't vote, you would abstain.
Oh, okay.
If there was a financial conflict, if you're
Financial.
voting for something, right? But
Oh.
you're just approving the minutes.
Okay. Now, in the future, I noticed that if a person is missing from the regular minutes, do they abstain? Because some of them didn't
No, they can
abstain.
vote. Again,
Okay,
and the Attorney Hitchcock can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's, if there
Right,
is a...
because they have been abstaining. That's why I want to clarify that right now.
Yeah, you don't have to abstain. If you've read the minutes and you're satisfied that they're correct, even if
Okay.
you weren't there, you can vote for them.
Okay, good. So we didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I would support. Motion approved.
Thank you, counsel. Number 3, petitioner. Counsel, we do have a petitioner on the agenda this evening.
Okay.
This is requesting approval of a block party event for Saturday, June 17th, 2023, from 10 a.m. to 8 o'clock p.m., and the closing of Hampton Street at Nottingham Drive and Buckingham Drive for the stated event. We have here, I don't have your name, but, okay, if you could come to the
Yes,
podium,
you come up to the
please.
podium. Yeah.
Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
My name is Chandra Williams. I am a resident in the Common Subdivision. Will be our 9th block party if approved. We have done it many times before. I've been the organizer of it all. We have a new board now, which I am a member of the new board as vice president of the subdivision now. So we have, since the pandemic, wanted to do something big for the kids coming out of school. So we're hoping that you grant us permission to have this Saturday.
Mr. Chair, I just want
Yes.
to add for council is that the petition was forwarded to the assessing, police department, ordinance, public works, and fire departments, and none of the departments have, raised any objections, so it is recommended to approve the block party
Great.
request.
Great. Okay, any comments from
Through
council?
the chair,
Yes. go
I
ahead,
make
Mr.
that motion for the approval of a block party event for Saturday, June 17th, 2023, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and the closing of Hampton Street at Nottingham Drive and Buckingham Drive for the stated event, and I do have a question.
It's been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Williams, for rock party event for Saturday, June 17th, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and the closing of Hampton Street at Nottingham Drive and Buckingham Drive for the stated event. Ms. Talley?
So just a question, I always ask for people who come to ask for the block party, can we come?
You are always invited.
Okay.
We've had various members there every year
Oh,
that we've
thank
had it
you.
in the past, and all are welcome.
Thank you much.
Any other, if there's no more discussion, roll call vote. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved. Thank you.
Takes us to number 4, the chairperson's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. At 6:45, we had a special meeting, study session concerning the MEDC sidewalk project presentation, and that was at 6:45. Other than that, the chairperson has no other report.
Through the chair, I'd like to make the motion to accept your report.
Support.
Been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, for approval of the chairperson's report. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved. Thank you.
Number 5 is the mayor's report.
Thank you. Good evening, City Council, Madam Clerk, Deputy Clerk, listening audience. Few items today on my, to discuss under my report, but before we begin, I'd like to draw your attention to the monitor and the lovely Mrs. Towler from the Mayor's office.
Hello, I'm Vanessa Tolliver, and here are some events happening in Romulus. Bring your lawn chairs and your blankets and join us for the first movie in the park for the season on Friday, June 16th. We will be showing the movie Encanto. The movie will begin at dusk. Join us on Saturday, June 17th for a day of gathering with family and friends to remember the past and celebrate the future at the City of Romulus' first annual Juneteenth community celebration. It will be held from 12 to 4 at the Romulus Historical Park. There will be food, vendors, entertainment, and fun. Thanks, everyone, and remember to like and share us on Facebook and YouTube, or visit our website for more information. Have a great night.
Thank you, Vanessa. First item up is I'd like to thank City Council for the approval of the firefighters' contract last week. It's a priority of my administration to take care of our public safety, and even though the contract hadn't expired yet, we wanted to make sure we didn't have a lapse in their coverage. So worked hard with them and our HR to get something done and hammered out that we're all happy about. And they had unanimous support out from the IAAFF and also City Council, so we appreciate that. And we were also able to support, our clerk's initiative with the Juneteenth significance in our community and also the federal government, and add that as one of their paid holidays. So it's an additional benefit we added to our union employees, and we're going to work with all of them on that to celebrate and acknowledge Juneteenth and its significance. So they will have that as a paid holiday. So I'm happy about being able to lead the way on that and incorporate that into their contract. So thank you, City Council, for that. I also want to give a nod to our new DDA director, Jerry Frayer. Did a great for his kickoff event for our Sounds Downtown. He had a great event last Friday and great entertainment. We had people outside of our community coming as well, which was the intent. So great event out there. He's got another one coming in July, so pay attention for that and make sure you're out there with the bag chair and out to have some fun. I also want to give acknowledgement to Romulus Community Schools and the work they're doing. I attended a couple of the kindergarten roundup last week at 2 different schools. What a great program. They had burgers and dogs for the kids, ice cream for the kids. It was great to meet the new families, the returning families. They had bounce houses for the kids, and it was a great family event. So good to see. Hats off to Romulus Community Schools and that initiative there. Also report out on the St. John's Lodge softball game. Unfortunately, the city of Romulus lost this year. So
We lost.
3-1. I think we've won 3 years in a row, but we lost this year. So hats off to St. John's Lodge, and had a great event, great picnic out there. It was a good time had by all. A couple events that are coming up I want to make sure we acknowledge and mark on the calendar. On June 26th at 5 o'clock, we're going to be officially unveiling the sign for the William Wadsworth Animal Shelter. We'd love to see everybody out there. And we'd like to extend the invitation to anybody who's adopted a pet from the animal shelter to bring it along with them. So Bill said he'll take a picture with all of them that show up. So we're going to make sure we bring in all our dogs and cats we've adopted at the animal shelter. And also Patriots in the Park. It's another event that's going to be on July 8th, and it's going to be from 10 to 1 at our historical park downtown. And please come out there. We're going to have free food and also a bounce houses for the kids, attraction to have fun, and await the Wounded America motorcycle charity ride that raises about $20,000 annually for our local veterans causes. Again, this year, we're going to have a competition with the different cities that are involved to see who could be the most patriotic. So if you come out, bring your red, white, and blue, a flag, and a chair, and let everybody know, that Romulus does patriot well. Last year, unfortunately, Riverview took the title, so we're going to try to beat them this year and do better. So that being said, down to the action item I have in my report is the introduction of a budget amendment. It's a budget amendment to use some drug forfeiture funds to buy new police vehicles. So I request that council concur with the administration and introduce budget amendment 22, 23, 21 to recognize forfeiture revenue to purchase new vehicles for the Romulus Police Department.
To the chair,
Ms. Talley?
I'd like to make that motion, concur with administration and introduce budget amendment 22/23-21 to recognize forfeiture revenue to purchase new vehicles for the Romulus Police Department.
Support.
A motion by Ms. Talley, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, for introduction of Budget Amendment 23-21. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Question, John.
Ms. Williams?
I have a question.
Your question?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I would just like to, what is for vehicles? What type of vehicles are these? SUVs, just regular cars?
DC Shelby, can you give some detail on that?
Good evening. So the question is, what type of vehicles?
Yes.
We're looking at Ford Explorers or something very similar.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I was wondering because it didn't speak on what type of vehicle, so, okay, thank you.
Okay, Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Just as a reminder, those funds come from our participation in the DEA program. We have an officer on loan that's doing great work, and as those funds became available, Romulus gets its proportion commensurate with his efforts, and so it's a great and needed revenue source right now. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
That will conclude my report for this evening.
Okay.
6 is the clerk's report. I have one action item, 6A. And this is an amendment to the honorary street sign dedication policy and approval of the 2023 applications. On Monday, June 5th, 2023, the council held a study session to review the honorary street sign dedication application for the 2023 calendar year. At that meeting, the council agreed to approve all applications submitted. Councilwoman Williams communicated to our office and the council members present at the meeting that the family of Eddie Marie Beanham Butler requested to withdraw consideration of their application due to Mrs. Beanham Butler's health. 2 actions from the council are requested. The first, to amend the honorary street sign dedication policy to allow for approval of 6 applications submitted during the 2023 application period. That's the first action item. And the second action item would be to approve the honorary street sign dedication program applications honoring Early Mosley, Mary Carter, Charles Curley, Kenneth Mankiewicz, Oscar Hamilton Sr., and Jerry Laddick. Again, council is going to require action from you to amend the honorary street sign dedication policy to allow for 6.
Yes, Ms. Talley?
I'd like to make the motion to amend the honorary street sign dedication policy to allow for approval of 6 applications submitted during the 2023 application period.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Ms. Williams, to amend the honorary street sign dedication policy to allow for the approval of the 6 applications submitted during the 2023 application period. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, that motion is approved.
Thank you. And the second action that we need from council is to approve the honorary street sign dedication program honoring those honorees as stated.
I'll make that motion, John.
Motion, Ms. Williams?
Support it.
It's been motioned by Ms. Williams, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, to approve the honorary street sign dedication program application honoring the name that was mentioned by the clerk. Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you, council. There's an item under my report. Basically, it's for your information, notification of the water and sewer rate changes. No action is needed unless the council by a 2/3 majority rejects the changes. Other than that,
John, I have discussion.
You have a question? Go ahead.
Mayor, can Maria answer this question? I'm looking on page 36, where up under 62-365A2, water consumption, and it went from 2.830 to 3.3013, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, you said you'd like clarification on that?
Yeah, I just want clarification because I'm noticing in here, I was kind of confused. It has what was discussed in that study session. It has the water consumption, then it has the fixed rate charges, and then it says water readiness to serve. So are we still using, is it going to be 4 different ways that the water is being charged? Because
Yeah, can you please come up and address that?
I was under
Thank
the
you, Maria.
impression that the water ready to serve was going to replace the way the water was being charged.
So, good evening, council, mayor, staff, audience. Okay, so let me just take a look. So that is that one component. So we were taking the old utility rates, making to the new utility rates. So the 283 that's on there that's being referenced, that is staying the same. The only one that we were taking out was the fixed water charge. So we were taking from the 5 to 4. So that will stay the same, that's just the water consumption. And then also too, for like, if you go to.
The 283 went to $3.0.
$3 and,
Yeah.
013, yes.
So it did change.
Slightly, yes.
Yeah.
And that was based on our model and the calculation, yes.
Okay, so I remember when we did the study session, it was talking about the ready-to-serve was going to replace the fixed rate. Is that correct?
Yeah, so, yes. So the only one that we took out was that fixed water charge. So this charge right here is just for water, all water. So originally, last year, it was $2.83. That was staying the same, you know, with the calculation and all of the other components, and that was changing to $3.013. So that stayed the same, part of the calculation from last year as well. The only one that we removed of the calculation was considered the fixed water charge. So what will happen is how it will look now is we will have the water, and then the water readiness to serve charge, as you're mentioning, the sewer, and then the sewer readiness to serve charge. So then that's removing that fixed meter cost.
So the sewer disposal rate, it increased, right? Is that correct?
So that is, yeah, let me look on here. That slightly changed as well. So if you go on to, so it was last year, it was 3.594, and then this year it's going to be 3.994. There was a slight change of about 40 cents.
Okay. So the sewer maintenance charge, no charge, okay.
Yep, that was removing that one component,
So you're removing the maintenance charge and adding
just the
re-
fixed water charge, and then they changed it to the readiness to serve charge.
See, you have them all on here and they highlighted in yellow, so I'm not,
So the highlighted in yellow was to show the starting of the new methodology. So if you go down to, let's go down to section 62-3653, okay? So you'll see the 0.84, so those were the old meter service charges. However, if you go down, you'll see the new ones, and that's the readiness to serve. The highlighting was just to show you where it was from last year to this year. Then that will fall off for next year. There will no longer be like that old historic. It'll start with the readiness to serve on all of the categories, the 4 categories.
okay, so the sewer maintenance surcharge right now is 3/4 meter is $2.45. Is that correct?
Okay.
And then it'll go next year to $2.16?
Are we talking about 3/4?
3/4 meter.
Okay, so for example, we'll just start with water, and then I'll work my way over. So originally it was 283. Water will be the 3.013. Let's see, the sewer, it was 3.59. It'll be the 3.99. The readiness to serve for the sewer will be $4.31, where before it was $4.90. So there was as we discussed in our the budgets, those sessions, that there was going to show some decreases slightly for the 3/4 user in the first year.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Wadsworth, you have something?
If I can, just on page 35, it talks about the residential customer with a 3/4 inch pipe is going to see 11.5% decrease.
Correct.
If he uses up to 10 units of water, or?
Yes, so that would, you'll get, yes. And that is, and we were trying to measure it based on what, so for a 3/4 inch meter, the annual normal user consumer is about 60 units per year.
Okay.
So then break it down even further and say, okay, how many bills will they receive in a year, which is 6. So then that's where you get the 10 units of water and showing the slight decrease for the first year, yes.
Okay, fine.
Because the majority of them are the 3/4 users.
All right. Thank you.
Yes. Ms. Talley?
If I could, I'm going to take a few moments. We got a good summary. We had 2 study sessions regarding this water issue, and the city, Maria, it looks like you compiled this memo, and I thought it was a great memo that I would like to read a few paragraphs from regarding the 2 study sessions we had. It starts with retail rates will increase system-wide due to continued rising costs passed through from Great Lakes Water Authority, Downriver Utility Waste Authority. They have not received the Rouge Valley System flat and debt rates for 2023. However, they are anticipating an increase to overall rising water costs. Plant Moran assisted the city and conducted a comprehensive water and sewer study. The model calculated the necessary rate changes to pay for capital outlay, debt service obligations, water purchases, sewer treatment, and internal operation costs. With our agent infrastructure of the city, it is necessary to adopt these rate changes to maintain our water and sewer assets. The last increase to rates was only to the direct pass-through costs from GLUA and DUA and Rouge Valley in fiscal year 2022/2023. During the COVID pandemic, the city froze rates, did not accept penalties, and ceased shutoffs, but costs were continuing to rise. The cost of maintaining and upgrading our water and sewer system has increased significantly over the years, and the current rates are no longer sufficient to cover these expenses. I just thought that was important to read. Thank you for composing that memo, Maria. And then a couple of weeks ago, we had a boil water alert. It wasn't due to infrastructure in our city, but it was an outside city, right? We got affected. We had a boil water alert. So I thought that was very interesting after all these discussions we've had about the water and making sure that we have it wasn't our infrastructure, but we don't want to get in that position where it is. So I just want to put that out there for the public, just to be more proactive and not reactive. And I thank the city for being proactive in this and not being reactive. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the question and my concern, because I am a taxpayer, I pay a water bill. I just dealt with being billed a 51 unit for 2 months. So that wasn't pleasant at all. My concern is I struggled to pay that, just like anybody else would have. And anytime I see an increase, whether it's Great Lake Water, whether it's DTE, you can't explain away increases when you're talking to residents that have decreases in their finance. So that's why I asked the question, so the residents can understand what Councilwoman Talley just read. That's fine and dandy, but at the same time, the residents need to know, because if we hadn't said anything, it'll automatically pass. And so the residents need to know what's going on, why we're voting for whatever is before us. And my concern, like I say, I don't agree on no increase, whether it's the water, whether it's the lights, whether it's the gas. It's just not time for increases when the companies are not giving us good service. And so that's just my opinion. I don't agree with no increase nowhere.
Through the chair.
Yes, Ms. Talley.
And I just read this memo just to keep the residents informed of what the city has done and is doing to address this, because we can't stop what GLUA and DUA is doing with these rates. Try to be more, like I said, proactive in how we respond to these things. But just to keep the residents informed what is going on, what the city has done to try to address these issues. I don't like stuff raising either. I ain't got that money like that. But when I have to do a boil water alert for a weekend, I don't want to do that either. I don't want to be boiling water, can't brush my teeth because I can't drink the water. I'm just saying, and that's just my opinion. Thank you.
And that was an infrastructure issue.
Yeah, right, boil water.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, council. That concludes the clerk's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. There is no treasurer's report this evening. It takes us to number 8, public comment, and this is the portion of the agenda for those who are in the audience. And if you would like to address the city council, the rules to address council can be found on the back of your meeting agenda. To address city council, raise your hand. After you've been acknowledged by the chairperson, approach the podium and please state your name. Please note that you will have 3 minutes to speak, and any additional time will be upon the consent of the chairperson. We do not have any written requests submitted this evening.
Comments from the audience? Mr. Miller.
Good evening. Thank you, sir. I would respectfully ask for a couple extra minutes if I could to put this to rest. Also, would you allow me to approach so I can give some information to the council? Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening again. I had the opportunity to read the city attorney's opinion. It is his opinion. Opinions are fought in the court each and every day, sometimes all the way to the Supreme Court. Remember, the mayor has no vote, and the chief of staff is not an elected official. Section 5.4 of the charter reads as, in case of the absence or disability of the mayor, the chairman of the council shall perform the duties of the mayor during the period of such absence. Two of the most important words are absence and shall. The meaning of absence simply is a state of being away from the place or person. Shall is the important word, meaning it's mandatory. The Cornell School of Law, the most prestigious in America, says it is an imperative command indicating certain actions are mandatory and not permissive, which means you cannot refuse to do it. It is obligatory, required by a legal, moral, or otherwise compulsory. Therefore, with all due respect, sir, it is my opinion, if you continue to refuse to take your elected position in the absence of a duly elected mayor, allowing a non-elected individual known as chief of staff to usurp your authority, the codification of the city charter, a legal binding document, does not allow you to refuse to do your sworn obligations. I respectfully ask you to resign the position of the chairmanship, allowing the next highest vote getter to assume the position. That would be Councilwoman Williams, who has already demonstrated her willingness and ability to do that when you yourself, sir, was gone 2 to 3 weeks ago. Otherwise, if a non-elected person can fill the mayor's seat, she can fill a council seat. Both are elected positions. Duh! Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Any other comments from the audience? If there are no other comments from the audience, we'll close that part out. Madam Clerk?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Number 9, unfinished business. Number 10, new business. Number 11 for approval is warrant 23-11.
Through the chair.
Yes.
I'd like to make that motion to approve the following expenses as follows. General Fund, $98,419.09. Major Street Fund, $4,220.04. Local Street Fund, $90,642.06. Public Safety Fund, $241,189.69. Cable TV, $1,544.83. Merriman Road Special Assessment, $6,897.47. Oakwood SAD, $64.51. Community Employee Activity Fund, $401.40. Garbage and Rubbish Collection Fund, $5,784.59. CDBG, $207,347.58. Michigan Indigent Defense Fund, $17,304.99. 9/11 Service Fund, $9,389.04. Narc Forfeiture State, $757.63. Library Fund, $13,033.36. DDA, $1,936.74. Tifa District Number 2, Tifa District Number 2, $10,133. Water and Sewer Fund, $1,444,733.84. Motor Vehicle, $216,846.56. Technology Services, $110,204.68. Retirees Insurance Benefits, $127,890.90. Revolving Fund, $4,274. Delinquent Personal Property Fund, $11,095.76. Payroll Fund, $240,496.72, for a grand total of $1,564,608.48.
Support.
It's been motioned by Ms. Talley, supported by Mr. Wadsworth, to pay warrant number 23-11 for $1,564,608.48. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote. Ms. Talley?
Yes.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Yes.
Ms. Williams?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion approved.
Thank you. Number 12 is communication.
Through the chair.
Yes, Ms. Talley?
Yeah, I got something this week, just a couple things. I didn't shout out last week, but the prom toast at the high school was very nice and well attended, and more attended than it was last year, than I remember. Very nice event, so just want to shout out for our seniors, and just in the graduation, they also had that Saturday following, just a great things going on in our school district. As the mayor said earlier, they had the kindergarten festival this week, and at each of the locations, at each of the elementary schools, so shout out to what's going on in our school district, and to our Superintendent, Dr. Ben Evanson and his team. I also want to shout out to Gretchen Nataro. She's the principal at the Rommel. She sent us a nice thank you card to the Ministerial Alliance, thanking us for coming out for National Day of Prayer. And Principal Gretchen, we do not need thanks for that. We appreciate you allowing us to come into the school to pray with the kids. So thanks for shout out to everybody who participated with the National Day of Prayer. And then this past week, the Romulus Drug Task Force had their annual scholarship recipient award luncheon, and 3 recipients were awarded scholarships. The scholarship is Dwayne Martin Scholarship in his honor, and the recipients were Mayette Garrett, Sania Hardy Lockhart, and Fatima Sabal, all that were recipients of this Dwayne Martin Scholarship. Congratulations to them and their awarding, and then also shout out to Ms. Betty Martin, who is the widow of Mr. Dwayne Martin, who was also at the event with her family, Kevin Martin, her son, and Judge Lisa Martin was able to pop into the support. So shout out to them, and thank you to the Romulus Drug Task Force for all that you do as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Talley. William?
Yes, again, to all residents and neighboring cities, Forgotten Harvest still at the Romulus High School every Tuesday from 10 to 12:30. Actually, now that school will be out this week, we may be able to extend it a little longer based on what location the truck have to go beyond that site. And also, just to remind all the residents out there, as I said before, down in the North End, a young man came to me 4 years ago and asked to help put together a Juneteenth event, and it's been going on ever since. So this year, and he asked me to bring this to the attention of the residents. Celebrating Juneteenth, a celebration of our culture. Free community event for everyone to enjoy. Let's gather together with family and friends to celebrate each other with free food, drinks, good music, bounce houses, and for children and more. Saturday, June the 17th at 12 p.m. Thomas J. Coleman Center, 35351 Beverly Road, Romulus, Michigan. We also have a job fair there and other different vendors. Juneteenth marks the day when the federal troops arrived in Galveston, Texas in 1865 to take control of the state and ensure all enslaved people be free. Juneteenth commemorates the end of slavery in the United States. It also referenced the combination of June and the 19th. For more information, you can contact Randy Foster, 734-444-6983, or myself, 734-673-8396. All are welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. As far as communications, Mr. Wadsworth, the mayor, the Lions started practice.
Pardon?
The Lions have started practicing.
I'm getting ready.
Okay.
I'm working out myself.
Okay, all right. That's it for me. Madam Clerk.
Okay, if there's no further communication, takes us to number 13, adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned by Mr. Wadsworth, supported by Ms. Talley for adjournment. Mr. Wadsworth,
Yes.
Ms. Talley,
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, we are adjourned. Thank you.